Hello everybody, it is 7 o'clock and I hope and pray that this video doesn't get lost like it did last week. But anyway, we're gonna push through. My name is Jessica. I am the founder and creator and owner of the Pink Butterfly, a beauty brand here in Columbia, South Carolina. Now, I say beauty brand because we have a couple of different things that fall under the training and advanced training and coaching through the Pink Academy. So again, I'm Jessica Reese, aka the Pink Boss, and let me give you a brief overview for those who do not know me. Those that do know me, just bear with me for a second. I was the girl in the dorms in college doing everybody's hair and makeup because that's just what I naturally love to do. And when I graduated, went into corporate America, worked for 8 years, got pregnant with my son, and found myself on bed rest from July to November. That was a whole lot of time to think. So when it was time to go back to work, I really did not want to go back to corporate America. I felt like a caged animal because I've always known what I love to do. Now, it's a lot of people who are not happy with their job. They're not happy with what they do in their life, but they don't know what they want to do. That was not my case. I have always known what I enjoy doing. So with this new baby in a town that I knew nobody, I gave up what I call my golden handcuffs, company card, expense account, all of that, to go to cosmetology school. Yes, everybody thought I was crazy, but I have not worked a day since. I literally tell everybody it's like going to the sandbox every day with what I do. I love what I do. I love the industry. I love helping women see themselves the way that they've never seen themselves and the way that they've always wanted to see themselves. And I just enjoy the whole evolution of it, because truly Pink Butterfly is where beauty meets evolution. And that is what we are here to talk about today. Now with evolution, I always believe that you're always growing and evolving or dying and regressing. There's like no such thing as standing still. You can actively be involved in your evolution, or you can be complacent and sit back in your regression. But you're never just standing still. You're either growing and evolving or dying and regressing. You have to figure out which one you're doing and which one you are actively participating in. Now, right now, I am being an active participant in my evolution. I'm not sure if many of you have seen social media lately or have come in contact with me at the salon or have just talked to me over the phone, but I am actively, intentionally evolving, and I am here to share my evolution with you. It's a 4-part series. Last week was the first one. This is the second one, and I invite you to come back for the next 2, Evolving with Jessica, every Monday at 7 o'clock. Visit us online, www.pinkbutterfly.com. Feel free to come by the Salon by Pink, 2911 Millwood Avenue here in Columbia, South Carolina. If you're in the area, you can always hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, email me, jessica@pinkbutterfly.com. It's so many ways to get in contact with me. So let's dive right in. So, evolving with Jessica. Today's topic is hurdles that have left me speechless and ways that I overcame them. Now, when we came up with this topic, I was like, oh, that one is going to be heavy, because I'm really going to have to dig deep and be even more transparent with my feelings, how I think, things that have happened that a lot of people necessarily didn't see what was going on in the background. But that's part of my evolution, is being more open, more accessible, and just being more transparent. Because honestly, one thing I have realized lately, and I've known it, but a lot of the things that we go through in our lives, is not necessarily for you. God allowed you to go through it because he knew you were equipped to handle it. But there are people that are coming behind you that may not know how to get through it, may not have anybody or the resources that you have or the friends and family that you have to go through something. And something that you say or something that a story that you share and how you did something or thought about something may actually help somebody else, because we are here. We don't live on an island. We're here to help each other and help build each other up. So I'm all for it. So in order for me to evolve and continue my evolution, I wanted to be in the place and put myself in a position, even though it's very uncomfortable, but I wanted to lead by example. And so I am sharing my evolution with you all. And again, today we're talking about hurdles that have left me speechless and how I overcame them. Now, when I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, what examples can I use to illustrate like some very big hurdles? We all have little bumps in the road, but the two that stood out, and I'm gonna go through them. One of them is when I closed my Richland Mall location. And the other one was recently, and it probably is a shared hurdle. Not probably, it is a shared hurdle with pretty much everybody in the world, the whole COVID situation. But the COVID situation affected everyone differently. It affected everyone in different industries differently. And of course, I have my own personal COVID story that some people may be able to relate to. So first, let's talk about my first hurdle that left me speechless and how I overcame it. Now, when I started the Pink Butterfly in 2006, I started in West Columbia in my first location. It was this little cute little brick house. It was called the Pink Butterfly Hair Studio. The parking was limited. It was kind of small, but it was the perfect beginning for me. I believe that despise not humble beginnings, because God can truly use those to get you to where he wants to get you. So I moved from West Columbia at the Pink Butterfly Hair Studio into our second location, the Pink Butterfly Glamour Spa. And when I got ready to leave the Pink Butterfly Glamour Spa, because we yet again outgrew that space, I decided to take a leap, take a risk, and really do Pink Butterfly in its fullness in the way that I wanted to see it. And thus was the birth of the Pink Butterfly Signature Salon and Spa. It was in Richland Mall. It was a beautiful space. It was 10,000 square feet. I had a nail area. I had a spa area with the esthetician, with the massage, with the masseuse. Beautiful area for the hair and beautiful prep. It was just a beautiful space. And we had so many other things that we did there. We had events. We had Neo Soul Sundays, Pink at Night, our grand opening party. Crazy amount of money that I spent on that, but it was fun times. It was everything that I had envisioned for the Pink Butterfly. And things happened. And at one point, like I said, it was an old mall and the structure of it was deteriorating. The air condition was going out, the AC was going out, and we had to foot the bill to replace it, is what we were told. And to replace the unit would be at least 50 grand. On top of, every time it rained really hard here, it would rain inside of the mall. Like the ceiling had holes in it. It was time to go. It was time to go for so many reasons, but a large part of me did not want to let it go because of, okay, what are people gonna think? You closing this big old beautiful space, or what are they gonna say? And a lot of it was the perception that I had that other people would have of me by closing this beautiful location and moving to something smaller. And I always felt like I had an audience of people to either watch me fail and an audience of people to either watch me succeed. And I definitely did not want to give this audience the show of watching me fail, which is what I interpreted if I close that location. But a lot of times it's all about your perspective. God really, like, that was a stepping stone to other things and other blessings and greater things that he wanted to do for me. And I can now look back on it and say that that was a necessary step, but it was not the end. And I'm so glad that I kept moving and kept what I call my boss mentality, my boss mindset. And I don't give up. And even by closing that location, it was not giving up on Pink Butterfly. I knew very clearly that we were going to find another location and open it, and that's exactly what we did. So the second hurdle that left me speechless, of course, was COVID. And when we had to shut down everything, and in our industry, it's not like I can call HR and tell them, hey, they shut us down and please continue to pay me. I only get paid, the business only gets paid if the doors are open. And with the doors closed, just like every other business, we aren't making money. However, there's still overhead. However, my landlord still wants rent, and SC&G still wants the electricity bill, and it was a lot seeing that money had to go out, but there's no money coming in. And the uncertainty of it all was the part that really had me anxiety laden. But either way, those are my two examples. Now I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I overcame them. And at the time, and during any time that I have hurdles or have a bump in the road or something, a wall that I hit, I find myself going through these same steps, even though it's not like conscious where I say, okay, Jessica, here's step number 1. You need to do this. Here's step number 2. But thinking about this, I had to put it into words, and it's exactly what I do when I'm going through things or having to, when I hit a hurdle and I need to figure out how to do this, how to get over it, and continue using my boss mentality. The first thing I do is I take a moment, and in some cases, maybe even 2, to just be quiet, to sit back and really look at the situation that I'm faced with, and to seek wisdom, not counsel, but wisdom. I'm a believer, and I know that I get all of my blessings, all of my resources come through God, and that is for me. But sometimes people go to other people for counsel, for advice, and that's all well and good. But in a moment when you are up against a wall, in a moment that you're having to make some decisions that are life altering, that could alter the trajectory of the rest of your life or your career or your business, those are the times that I take very seriously. And those are the times that I seek wisdom from a higher power, from God, and not so much counsel from men. A lot of times people, they don't necessarily know exactly what not many people could give me advice about doing the Pink Butterfly, because the Pink Butterfly has never been done. The Pink Butterfly was a vision that God gave to me, not anyone else. So it's kind of hard to get advice from people who've never been where I want to go, been where I've been, or going where I'm going. And it feels good to have people in your corner to pat you on the back and rub your shoulder, and that support is necessary. But in those moments that you are quiet, in those moments that you're just trying to seek wisdom, those are the times that I sought wisdom from God and not counsel from men. So after I had that 1 or 2 moments, the next thing I did was I took inventory. And I truly did this with COVID because I had to, because with business, we had to make a pivot to figure things out, how to keep it moving, even in the midst of everything going on. So I had to literally sit down and take inventory of all of the things that I have available, all of the resources, the people, the skills, the abilities that God has given me. Take inventory of all of the things that I have, the words in my mouth, the thoughts in my head, the ideas I have, the creativity I possess. Take inventory of all of that and sit down and look at all the things that I've been blessed with, all the things that God has already given me, because in both of those situations, God had already given me the answer. He had already shown me the next step. I just wasn't paying attention until I sat down and looked at it. It's like, oh, wow, I do have this, or yeah, I do have this resource that I don't take advantage of, or I do have, products that I don't really market and make known to the public. It's crazy. And I use products, shameless plug. But I have had products, literally, I designed my first products in cosmetology school in 2005, but I've never marketed it publicly. I've never just put it out there. It was just something I had around, and it was here, and sometimes I would, get a big inventory, sell through it, and then, re-up. But it was never anything that I told people about. It was never anything that I was excited to share with the world. And part of it was, if I'm honest, is I didn't know how people would receive it. The products, just like the business, but it was like a baby. You think your baby is like the cutest thing in the world, most beautiful thing in the world, but you don't really expect anybody else to. And if they do, they're like, oh my God, he or she is so pretty, so smart. You're like, yeah, I thought so too. But it's one of those things, you're very protective of your baby. And a lot of people, like myself, you do care about the opinions of others, and you want to protect your baby and protect what you have. And I just never really, in another part of it, I just didn't have time because I was running in 15 different directions, not with a clear focus. But we can talk about that another time. But again, I took inventory of all the things that I had. And one of it was I had products. I had the conditioner, moisture conditioner, shampoo, the polish, which everyone loves. When I ran out of it probably for maybe a couple of months. And when I got it back, I didn't even make an announcement that I restocked it, but I would spray it and people would stop. Oh my God. It has a very distinct smell, and it's super lightweight. It's a great product. But anyway, and of course, my flagship Boss Oil, which is literally, some people live by it. It's a great product, and not because I created it, but it really is a great product. But anyway, like I was saying, taking inventory of all of the things that God has given you, the gifts that he's given you, and it may not even be something as elaborate as a product line. It may be just a skill or a gift that you have. You have the ability to write music, or you have the ability to sing really nicely, or if you're in the industry, you do really good braids or really good weaves, and you really don't put yourself out there the way you could, because what's in your hands, what's in your mind, what's in your heart is yours, but you have to value them. So again, I took inventory of all the things that God had already given me, and I created the vision of what I wanted to solve the problem. In the problem of the Richland Mall, I wanted to move to another salon that would not take a lot to put it together, because we had invested a whole lot of money in Richland Mall. I wanted to create a space that was comfortable, that still was professional like all the other Pinks in the past. And as I'm writing down this vision, and I'm like, okay, this sounds really crazy, but I wanted to write the vision, make it plain. And sure enough, literally, I found Pink Salon on Rosewood, and it was already pretty much set up. It already had shampoo bowls in it. The plumbing was done. The rooms were separated. It literally checked all the boxes that I listed on my list of my vision of what I wanted next. And in the instance of the whole COVID and the quarantine, now during COVID, we had to go on quarantine. And one of the things that I did to pivot my business was I created quarantine kits. And at that time, I used products from other companies, not my products. The only thing that I put in this kit was my Boss Oil and my Shine. But I had other companies, shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, foam wrap. Like, it was a whole nother company, not mine, even though I had the ability and had, you know, what I needed to create my own, but I did not. But it was something that I had, that it was part of my inventory that I was not using, I was not tapping into. And after I did the quarantine kits, that really woke that thing up in me. And it was like, you know what, Jessica, you really need to use what you got on the wall and stop using other people's, because you had all the things you put in that quarantine kit, you have to make your own home maintenance kits. So here we go. So everything that you see on social media and the products that you see, they are not new. They have been in existence for a very long time. It's just that now I'm deciding again to be an active participant in my evolution. So again, going through that formula of how I overcame the obstacles, the two obstacles that left me speechless. One, I took a moment to kind of just be quiet and see exactly what was in store for me, and to figure out what exactly were the next steps that I wanted to take. Two, I took inventory of the things that I already had, the resources I already had, the people I already knew to do the things I wanted to do, the skills and abilities that I already possessed. I took an inventory of all those things, and then I wrote out my vision of what exactly I wanted to do with those things that I saw that I had. And then lastly, and it goes back to what I talked about last week with my decision day, I took the first step. I took the first step. Faith without works is dead. It's a lot of people saying, oh my God, I have a vision, I have a book that inside of me, or I have a business I want to start, or, you know, all these things. People have ideas and things that are locked inside of them. But until you take the first step, and that's all you're required to do. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have, you know, figure out where honestly, where even the money's from, because where the money's gonna come from, because where's the vision, God will provide the provision if you are in alignment with what He wants for you. So to recap, take a moment. If you have hit a wall, if you are currently going over a hurdle, just take a moment or two. I took two. Just take a moment or two and be quiet. Seek wisdom, not counsel, wisdom. Two totally different things. Take inventory and be honest with yourself. What are the things that I do? What are the things that the advice that I give? What are the things that bring me joy? What are the activities that I would do for free for people? All those things are little, I guess, lighthouses into what the gifts and special talents that you have inside of you that God gave you. 3, define your vision. Write it down. Write it down in detail. You know, if you want to start a business, what color are the walls? What color are the floors? What does your voicemail on your phone sound like? Like, in detail, envision it. I don't know if there's The Secret. I love that book. It is a book about manifesting, and it's a book about being able to see things. And they're talking about if you want a new car, you envision yourself sitting in the car. What does the leather feel like? What does it smell like? What does the wind feel like hitting your face? And there's truth to really manifesting the things that you want. If you put it out there, it will come back to you. And I truly believe when you write down the vision, there's also an accountability to that. And it's hard because you feel like if you write it down, you can see it and you can hold yourself accountable to making sure you take the steps to make it happen. And that's the last part, taking the first step. You know, I said in my last the first episode last week, and people that know me, I say it all the time, you know, we all have excuses of why we are not doing what we know we're supposed to be doing or what we could be doing. We have reasons that we say why, you know, I'm too young, I'm too old, you know, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm not skilled enough. And all those excuses, whether they are valid or not, at the end of it, change that period to a comma, and you say, but I'm going to do it anyway. Uncomfortable as it is, I'm going to do it anyway. That's taking the first step. So anyway, very quickly, that's how I have overcome some hurdles that have left me speechless. And I hope that there is somebody that was touched by what I said and you found it beneficial. I appreciate you taking your time. Again, connect with me, join my email list, email me, DM me, inbox me, however, your questions. And hopefully I'll see you all next Monday, 7 o'clock, same place, right here, Evolving with Jessica.